everyone, today we are going to be doing a picture from this book. This is a Colouring Heaven Pocket magazine called Sleeping Animals. It's by R.J. Hampson. I think the pictures are from his Asleep book, so if you've got that one then you may have this picture as well, I think so. And this one is called Llama Pyjamas, and the two llamas are asleep together, but we've got these little hearts and it looks like they're a couple, and I just thought it was a cute sort of not Valentine-esque type picture. So I haven't got loads of Valentine's pictures and most of them are hearts, so I thought we would do something that wasn't just a picture of a heart. So I thought this was rather cute. Now I don't really know what colour llamas are, but I've decided I'm just going to play around with some of the colours and see what we can do. So I am using my Schpirerr Farben pencils today. Now I have a swatch chart for these. I also have some comparison charts, so if you are colouring along, you don't have the right colours, then you can have a little look at those. I'm going to start with the llamas, and I'm trying to find the colour that I want. I want the maple. There it is. So this is quite a warm browny yellowy type colour. It seems so dark on my screen. Everything looks really dark. The sun is so bright. I think my camera is adjusting. Hold on a minute. I'm going to shut my blind. It'll go dark for a minute and then the camera will adjust and go brighter. And I'm hoping that that might be a better picture. Right. So I'm going to start with the maple, and I'm going to put this all over the llama apart from their sort of beads and things like that, and then add some other colours on top in some areas. So this is just going to be like a base colour, so we're just going to pop it down. Now as I say, I don't really know what colour llamas are and I haven't looked them up. I just want to have a little go with the pencils that I've got and play with what I've got. Now I realise this would be a different colour to this, and that is how I'm going to do it eventually, but at the moment, as I say, I just want a base colour, and some of this will stay this colour and some of it will change. Now these very simple designs, sorts of books, are very popular at the moment, and from what I can see in some colouring groups and things is that a lot of people are using their alcohol markers in them. They're sort of Copics or Hoo-Hoos or even cheaper brands of alcohol markers to colour the books, and I rather like how they look, to be honest, coloured with alcohol markers, but I don't like alcohol markers. Personally, I don't like the smell, and I get very scared of wet mediums in case they soak through. And I also get worried about making a mistake that you can't erase. So there's a lot of reasons, plus I just haven't used them, so I'm not very good at them because I haven't practiced. So I have decided not to go along that route at all. I have played with a few alcohol markers because I just happen to have a few Sharpies and stuff just to see what they were like, and that's how I know I'm just really not very keen. So I haven't just guessed, I have played with them, but it's just not my thing. So I am colouring it with pencil, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing this. It takes probably almost as long. Colouring large areas with pencil can be tricky to get it even, but I think even with markers it takes practice, and you have to work really quickly with a marker. With an alcohol marker, so I gather from a few videos that I've watched, or else you get a streaky look like you would with a water-based marker. Water-based markers are really hard to keep neat and tidy. So anyway, now these look a bit liney. That's fine, they've got fur, that's how they're going to look. Right, so that's my first colour. I'm going to grab a burnt sienna now, which is a little darker, and do a few areas. Sorry, let's hold it the right way so you can see it. Do some areas darker, and start with the ears. And just now we're going to do separate strokes for these, so it actually does look a bit more like fur. Why not? But I don't think llamas are like massively furry animals, like you can't think of a massively furry animal. I don't know, a furry sheep or something. But I suppose people, they do get sheared, don't they? People use their wool, not llamas so much as alpaca. But anyway, so I'm just doing that so it looks a little bit like there's some fur. Now I'm going to use this also on their sort of nose area. I want to try and make it look furry, so I'm going to actually sharpen it a bit more. You need a sharp pencil to do strokes, individual strokes of fur. It's been quite quiet today. One of my sons in uni all day long. He'll be home at 6. And my other son is here, but he was working downstairs this morning, and now he's finished, he's gone off upstairs to have a go at, I don't know what he's doing. He's playing Minecraft, I think, and trying to get used to a new mod or something. Mod being modification of the game. I'm going to do detail like this too. And so he's doing that, so he's gone off to have a go at that. So it's nice and quiet. Enjoying a bit of time on my own. It's as much as I like having family around sometimes, I'm going to colour these in, but not, the way they're drawn makes me think they aren't so furry. I don't know why they wouldn't be, but I'm just going to do that. Yeah, as much as I like being around them, it's nice to have a bit of time on my own. And also, while they're supposed to be working, I find it quite stressful because they aren't always doing anything, and I think, shouldn't you be doing something? Should I be nagging you? Should I be minding my own business? You know, all that. It's hard. So it's nice to not have to do that at the minute. This is honey brown. Is that what I want? Yeah. I picked the wrong pencil, but I think it'll work. And I'm going to do this sort of bit here and hope it looks. I'm going to do quite a few strands because I want it to look like it's intentionally quite a bit darker. There we go. Now I don't know what colour to do the this and this, but I always think they often look really bright, so we can get some bright colours in there. Be rather nice. Hear an aeroplane outside. Quite noisy. I think there's not much cloud, so you can hear things more at the minute. It was cold last night. It had frost. I think husband managed not to have to scrape the car though, because he left for work so late that it melted. I heard my neighbour scraping his car when he left. He left before 8 o'clock. But my husband didn't leave until after 9. In fact, it was more like past because he got chatting to my son, the one that wasn't out. But anyway, I'm quite looking forward to having a bit of time with him tomorrow. Obviously, because Friday afternoon, it's Friday tomorrow, Friday afternoons both boys are out, and means that we get a bit of time. He's off work, so get some time together. Now their bodies, I want to keep them quite light. I think I'm going to go back to my original colour, which was the maple, sharpen it and just do some furry bits on top of the background, see if I can get that to work. It's quite blunt, this pencil. There we go. See if I can get that to work. I think that will. My sister was just a bit worried. She's emailing her local council. Apparently her son, who's 14, 15, he's doing a course for home ed students where he can get some GCSEs, English, maths, I think, basically, at a local college. There was talk, she's on all these sort of home ed Facebook groups and things, there's talk that the funding's going to be cut next year for the course, so it won't run, because it's a government provided course, not a private course. If the funding's cut, then it has to end. So I've done these a little bit darker because they're further behind. I'm going to do the same on these two. So these two are a bit darker. Actually, I'll do the main bit first. It'll be easier for me to know how much to put down to make it darker. So she's said they're always quite... People spread rumours a lot, and it's never too easy to know exactly what's going on. Budget cuts are obviously often on the cards, but because the courses are run by the council, it sometimes, you know, it's to do with council budgets, not government budgets, or maybe they get some funding from the government which has been cut. It's always a bit difficult to know exactly who's funding what, so she thought she would just write to council and ask them whether it's true, because it means he would have done half a course and won't be able to sit his exams, which is a bit of a worry, but something she would have to prepare for, and maybe just teach him herself. I mean, he's a home ed student after all, but she's not confident in teaching everything, and so wanted him to go to college to his maths and his English. I'm just finding some colours for these bits. I want to start with a yellow. I'm going to use the vanilla flower. I think that's it. I can't see. Yeah, I'm just going to pop my specs on so I can see. That's better. Because I want to use my sort of normal yellows for the sun. So I'm just going to sharpen this up. There we go. So vanilla flower. And I think I'm going to do the top stripe here. Okay, apparently I'm not. It's not a full sharpener. So maybe I was just a bit too aggressive with it. Okay, let's try be a bit more gentle this time. The problem with yellow is I always want it to be more intense than it can be, so I press a bit too hard. There we go. And I'm going to do the centre one on this. I'm not going to make them the same sort of pattern, so I'm going to use some of the colours from this in these as well. So both llamas will end up with the same colour in their accessories, should we say, but not in the same order. So now I want to go for a sort of red. What's the best red? I think the magenta is probably a good one. It's a bit pinkish, but I think it'll be okay. Now I don't want to do like a rainbow, so I'm going to go here for this one. We probably need an orange really as well. I sort of want rainbow colours, but just not in rainbow order. There's the magenta, and I think I might just do one there, like that. And then I am going to grab an orange. I think the autumn orange is rather good. Get it out. There we go. It's quite a dark one. And we'll do it here. And here. I think I'm going to go for a blue and a green, and then we'll see what it feels like it needs. So let's do the cobalt blue. It's quite a nice blue. Let's put it under the yellow. I like blue and yellow together. My goodness. I wonder if it's the book. I don't think so though. Maybe I've just got a lot of wibbly leads that I didn't sharpen properly. I'm not sure. I've not noticed it's happened with these before. I have found before that if my book was on an angle or something like that, then that could affect the pencil. What a mess I've made on there now. That's why you should use a brush. I'm just going to try and erase that mess that I've made. Bear with me. I don't think so. It's not going to erase. Oh well, we'll just have to manage. feel that this is really wobbly still. There was much excitement earlier, which I forgot to tell you about, was that there's a house at the end of our road which is up for auction, and there were people looking around it. I'm sure it was supposed to be auctioned off today, but maybe people last minute, I don't know. But there were people having a look. Now the house has been empty. This is Avocado ever since I moved here in 2001, and yeah, it's been empty always. And I've seen, I'm sure it has, I've seen someone there twice ever, and both times they were trimming weeds in the garden. Yeah, so it's an interest. You can imagine that it isn't the nicest of houses. I'm just looking for a sort of purpley colour. I think I'm going to go for the Tyrian purple. It's not quite so dark, so we don't confuse it with a blue. Yeah, most of the windows are boarded up on it now. They haven't, and not for long, fortunately, but we think they must have had squatters or something in, because their window was broken, and then there was a mattress outside, things like that. It just looked a bit odd to me. This is the rose I'm going to use for my final colour. Now there's a very small garden, which is, a lot of it is paving slabs which are around the edge of the house and up this sort of path. And no, that's a bit close to red, but never mind. And there's a caravan, was a caravan in the garden which had been set on fire. It sounds like we live in the most horrible area. We really don't. It's just this particular house. Right, this colour is called Hot Sun. So guess what I'm going to colour with it? So yeah, it's just this particular house because it's been empty. But it's, the guide price is £185,000. It's going for auction. Quite often things at auction sell for more money than the asking price. I'm going to use this bumblebee colour for the glow. And so it's going to be really interesting if I can find out how much it sells for. I'm just really nosy. It's a 2-bedroom house. It's got a very broken looking boiler in it, no fitted kitchen. We've had no photos of the bathroom. It's, a lot of the wallpaper is peeling off. It looks very damp. It looks like the roof needs retiling. The whole outside of the house needs re-rendering. It's in quite a sad state, to be honest. Just finding a green for some of these grass tufts at the bottom. I'm just going to use the golf course. And sometimes, even though these books are quite simply drawn, I will try and put a bit of detail in, but with this grass I think I'm just going to block it in. It's quite small areas. So yeah, I'm just really interested to see what's going to happen. My sister said, oh, you should buy it. And she said you should do it up and then you could make it into an Airbnb. I was like, well, there's a few problems with that. First of all, it's right on a busy A road. We're tucked down behind it, so we don't hear the traffic quite so much. We have a row of trees and we're a bit lower down, but they have a few trees but not really many. There's a really noisy road right on the traffic lights, and there's a shop next door with traffic and a garage with traffic going in and out all the time. I'm going to do these hearts and these flowers the same colour. I just think it will emphasise that little heart romancy thing, which is why I picked this picture in the first place. So I'm going to choose this sassy pink and do them in this colour. So that's one thing, is the location. You know, it's not a very pretty house, but I mean, I guess you could make it look a lot nicer. but I think you would have to spend even more than the asking price to get it decent. You'd have to change the windows, probably triple glazing because of the road and all the noise, and then you'd have to put in a new boiler and central heating, put in a new fitted kitchen, bathroom. You probably have to furnish the whole place. You would just have to furnish the whole place. It would need all properly painting, decorating, external work. Some of the brickwork in the garden looks really unsafe. It's starting to fall down, and there's a sort of brick arch and half of it's fallen down. You certainly wouldn't want to walk under there, so you'd have to do some work there. Now I think it would cost as much as it costs to do up. Now I think it's going to be far more likely to be an investor that's going to buy it, do it up and try and sell it on. Wow, that is pink. I'm going to do the centre of those flowers in this royal purple. You can do it in yellow if you prefer a yellow flower centre, but I'm just going to do that. I'm also going to put, I like to separate the petals. Don't have to do it like that. Now all we have left really is this sort of sky and clouds. Now I think we can do the sky in a blue. There are a few really pretty blues. There's one called Summer Sky. I'm just looking. I think I prefer to go with a lighter one, so I'm going to use French blue, which is this sort of ultramarine type colour. I think that's going to be better. Now with my sky I want to go in a cross motion. I'm not going to plaster it down. I'm going to keep it like this, so quite a thin layer, because I think it will be easier to make it look more even. And I'm going to try to keep the clouds white if I can. But yes, I'm quite excited. I find real estate and house sales and things quite interesting. There's a flat opposite us which has been up for sale for a week and it's already sold. Like, wow, that is quick. It's a 1-bedroom flat. Yeah, it's 180,000, and this house that I'm talking about is a 2-bedroom house for 185. It just shows you the difference in condition. There is some work to be done on the flat as well, but not major. They're having the front door replaced and stuff. The work's already been organised, it just needs to be paid for by the new owner. I think it's about 1,500, but that was all part of the agreement. If you buy the house you have to pay towards the work that's already been organised, which is the problem with owning a flat, is that any communal work that needs doing you have to pay towards. And because we were tempted, I have to say. Well, my husband said, should we buy it for the boys? And I'm like, well, it's only 1 bedroom. Even if they were going to share a house, which feels unlikely, I don't think they'd want to share a bedroom. They don't now. And it's also small. There's only room for a double bed. So certainly wouldn't want to be doing that now, would they? So anyway, no, we didn't buy it. But the fact that it's sold so fast makes you wonder whether maybe we should, and then sold it again for a bit higher money. But I don't know who's bought it. I'm wondering whether anyone local that I know has bought it, but I haven't, because the flat below and above are owned by people who own other houses in our square. So I'm wondering, don't know. I know the person who owns a bottom flat wouldn't be able to afford it. So, because she had to have some work done on her place and she had to save up. So she wouldn't have the money to buy a flat. Right. That is that. I am going to do a little bit with the clouds. I think just plain white. You can leave them plain white if that's what you like. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But I want to just add something to make it, excuse me, look like I've made a bit of an effort. So here's the French grey, and I'm going to make the bottoms of the clouds grey and fade it up to a white. So I'm going to put down a fair bit here, and then just gently fade it up like that, so that hopefully by the time I get to the top it's almost white. I'm going to do the same with the other two. So this isn't, as I say, it's not hugely sort of Valentine's-y, but I think it's a bit romantic, maybe, or they just love each other because they're good friends, or I don't know, but you can use your imagination. But I just felt with the little hearts on, it was quite a nice one to do. And as I say, made a change from a heart because my next 2 videos have got hearts on, so I thought it was just a bit different. There we go. Should we straighten up a bit? There we are. So there it is. I've had a lot of fun. It's only taken 25 minutes. I'm just looking at the time there to do that. And I'm actually usually slower on camera than I am not. So these are quite quick. It's quite a cute little book. I think they still got it for sale. I'll put a link in the description. You can, if you like it, you can grab it. But there we go. Sorry, I just sat back in my chair. I realised I've probably gone really quiet. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a really super day and happy colouring.